state of charge and depth of discharge. So you have a battery and battery is almost all drained. Okay, so and this is indicated in which color? Green color. So already when I kept the battery at the morning, what is the amount of charging available in the battery? 100%. So when the battery is full, now what is the state of charge of the battery? 100%. I started using the mobile phone by afternoon. What is the percentage of the battery? It has been decreased. Now what is the amount of charging available in the mobile phone? 30%, where this 30% is called as what? State of charge of an battery. So from morning it is at the which state of charge? 100%. At afternoon it has came to what? 30%, where this 30% is called state of charge, and some amount of charging is already discharged. So this is called as what? Depth of discharge. How much depth it has been discharged is called as, now this depth of discharge is how much now? 70%. When you add state of charge and depth of discharge, that should be equal to 100%. How to calculate state of charge or depth of discharge? It has to be represented in percentage. That represented with percentages. Next parameter is life cycle of an battery. Okay, already I told, if you buy an battery, every battery will have life cycles. Okay, let's try to understand how a lithium ion battery life cycle is there. So you buy a new mobile phone which is a lithium ion battery or lithium polymer battery, and this lithium ion battery is having some life cycles of 1200 life cycles. 1200 life cycles. Okay, so per day let us assume that we are charging the mobile phone once and we are discharging per day only once. Okay, so you are charging the mobile phone in the morning and by evening we are making the battery as how much? 0% or 10%. You started charging the phone at morning 6 o'clock at 10% and it has reached how much? 10%. You have charged the phone now. After reaching 100%, you had traveled to came to the campus and you had used the phone at the evening 6 o'clock. What is the amount of charging available in the phone? 10%. So in one day you are charging the phone and the same day you are discharging the phone. Then how many cycles has been completed? One life cycle has been completed. So like that if we calculate, so for one day how many cycles? For one day how many cycle? One cycle. Okay, now we calculate 1200 cycles means how much? So we are going to get 1200 days, or your mobile phone can run for how many days? 1200 days. So convert into years. So 1200 divided by 365 days. How much? 365 divided by 1200. How many years? 3.2. So which indicates that when you buy a mobile phone which is having 1200 life cycle and you are using this mobile phone per day, only how many times charging? One time you are charging and one time you are discharging. So per day how many cycles you are going to consume? Only one cycle. If you use properly the phone like this, it can run for how many years? 3 years, 2 months. It can happily run if you properly use the mobile phone in this fashion. Okay, for example, you are a heavy user. Okay, if you are a heavy user and you are going to consume 2 times you are charging your mobile phone. So you charge the mobile phone in the morning, in the afternoon you had made it as how much? 0%. And again afternoon you charged the phone and the evening 6 o'clock you have been discharged. Per day how many cycles you are consuming? 2 cycles. The phone is designed to run for how many years? 1200 cycles, but due to your over usage or heavy user, it has been reduced to how many cycles? 600 cycles. If it is 600 cycles, it will run for only how many years? Maximum 1 year, 6 months. That's all. So half of the lifetime will fall down. Okay, so we have to take care about this is called the life cycle of an battery. Next one is self-discharge rate. So what is meant by self-discharge rate? Already the name itself is saying that the self-discharge. If a mobile phone or if a battery is not used for an longer time, if a battery is not used for an longer time, automatically what will happen? So around 3 percentage, I mean 2 to 3 percentage of the battery will be discharged. That is called, sir, why it is discharging means due to temperature changes or due to its internal chemistry, it can discharge of its own. Okay, for example, you buy a new phone and the amount of charging in the phone is how much? 100 percentage, and you kept this phone inside the bench or inside the birua. Okay, so then automatically what is the amount of self discharge rate? 3 percentage per month. Okay, and after 1 month you had bought the phone outside, so 100 minus 3, 100 minus 3 is how much? 97. So your battery will indicate how much? 97% of amount of charging is available in your mobile phone. Okay, so this is about all the theory concept. Now we'll try to do the problems corresponding to this theory to make you to understand better. Okay, so now what is the first parameter of a battery? Battery terminal voltage. Next one, charge capacity of a battery. So battery terminal is nothing but the voltage available at the output of an battery is called battery terminal voltage. What is charge capacity of a battery? The capacity of a battery can be expressed in ampere hour or watt hour. The power rating of a battery is volt into current. What is the state of charge of a battery? It indicates amount of charging available in an battery. What is meant by depth of discharge of a battery? The amount of charging has been already discharged is called depth of discharge. Next one, the life cycle of an battery. A battery will have how many life cycles? 1200 life cycles. It can run, it's a good brand, it will give 1200 life cycles. It's a cheap quality brand, they will give 800 or 600 life cycles depending upon the cost of the mobile phone. Next one, self discharge rate of a battery. What is meant by self discharge? If a phone is not used for a long time, automatically it will discharge of its own. Okay, so this self discharge rate should be lower or higher? Lower. If the self discharge rate is lower, then it's a good battery. So many brands offer, so every brand will have minimum 10% of self discharge. It's a brand like Apple or premium brands, they have very less amount of self discharge. That's why the phone cost is also very costly. But if you go with the normal brands less than 5,000, 10,000 rupees mobile phone, they have 10% of self discharge. That's why those phones are very cheap. Okay, this is about everything about parameters of a battery. We'll try to solve some few problems. Right.